Hi there, everyone. Welcome back to the ScrapbookPal.com YouTube channel. My name is Misty. I'm from the Jolly Fat Elf, and today I get to make another Christmas card with you using this Colorado Craft Company Mommy Kissing Santa stamp set. This is part of their Lovely Legs collection, and it's Mommy kissing Santa in front of a Christmas tree. It's romantic. It can be fun. Today, I'm going for romantic. So I am stamping the image along with the Merry Christmas Darling sentiment onto some Copic friendly paper using the Gina Amalgam ink. And my ink pad is a little dry. I'm not going to lie. That's why I had to stamp it a few times. And you can see that I went ahead and moved the stamp set up higher. You can definitely stamp this, lower onto the paper if you wanted to. I just wanted to have a place for that sentiment at the bottom. So again, I'm going to be Copic coloring, and my color palette is mostly red, aqua, and white, which is one of my most favorite color combinations, second to silver and purple. I am very much a non-traditional girl when it comes to Christmas colors and Christmas cards. So I'm using BG 49, 15, and 11 for her dress. I'm adding the 49 just where the darkest would be, so like in the pleats of her dress, kind of around her arms, anywhere that there would be shadow under his under his hand a little bit. I'm not doing like intricate coloring because luckily the illustrator gave us the lines for where we need to put the shadow. For Santa's suit, I'm using our 59, 46, and 35. This is one of my favorite color combinations. If I was using a fourth color, I would add an E59, but I decided to keep it to 3. And again, I'm coloring the darkest to lightest. That's just how I prefer to color. It's going to be completely up to you. Whatever feels most comfortable for you is what I suggest to do. So I'll go in and lay down my shadows, and then my midtone, and then my light, and normally I go back over it. For his boots, I'm using C10, 8, and 6, and then I decided just to use C10 for his belt. So again, I'm going where it would be the darkest with the darkest color, and then moving to my midtone, and then moving to my lightest. This is a really easy image to color. It would look beautiful watercolored. It would look beautiful colored with colored pencils. It looks beautiful colored with Copics. I think it would be great if you just heat embossed it onto some cardstock. Just a really nice image. Again, that can be very elegant or also, leaning towards whimsical. For their skin tone, I'm just using E33 and E21. There's not a whole lot of skin showing. Family friendly, y'all. But what there is, I just wanted to make sure that I had a little bit of color on there. Again, not worried about doing any intricate blending. Just wanting to make sure that there's a little bit of dimension, but not necessarily focusing on it. So I'm bringing back R46 to color in some of the ornaments. And then for my wall color, I decided to bring in W2. The reason why I'm bringing in a warm gray is because it is a kind of a grayish color. So it's a great neutral wall color, number one. And number two, I'm going to be doing cool browns for the floor. So I wanted that contrast between the warm gray and the cool browns on the wood floor. And again, you could really color this wall anything you wanted to, but I didn't want the wall to take the spotlight off the images. So here I go on the floors. I'm using E77, 74, 71, and 70. I'll bring in the 71 in a little bit after I realized that I needed a color in between them to help me blend. So I'm just going to take the 77 and basically put it where there would be some shadows around the presents where they would give off a little bit of shadow. And then all of the lines that the illustrator has given us for the floor is where I'm going to go ahead and color over it with my darkest color. These wood floors turned out really, really pretty. Who doesn't love wood floors, right? We actually have gray laminate because I wanted gray floors 8 years ago before gray floors were popular, but that's neither here nor there. So here I'm bringing in 70, and this is when I realized that I needed a color in between to help so it's not so stark, and that's when I go ahead and bring in 71, and it helps darken it just a little bit. But again, the floors aren't the main focal point. It's, the couple and then the tree with the presents behind them. I went ahead and increased the circle of the shadow underneath them. And then again, just going back over it to make sure that all the colors are blended. So then I decided to bring in a yellow to add a bit of glow around our Christmas tree. And I brought in Y11. And then I brought in Y000 and W0 to help blend that yellow into that W2 in the background. Then I brought back 46 and 10 of the BG to color some of the ornaments aqua, and then using the 10 to add a little bit of shading so they look more white. Now it's time for the tree. And I am using YG09, 06, 01, and 00. I'm starting with 00, and you're going to see me leave this color, a lot of this color in. And my thought process with coloring this tree is if it has a glow around it, that means it has lights. And where the lights would be, although the illustrator hasn't given us those lights, we can leave it that lightest color to show that there is light there, like there may be a light shining there. So I tend to leave a lot of the lightest yellow or the two lightest yellows in the middle of the tree to give us, again, that sense that there are Christmas lights on the tree, because who can't have a glow around the Christmas tree if you don't have lights on the tree? So now I'm going to be coloring the presents, and I'm bringing in RV 906, 09, 06, and 04. I decided to go for pink and aqua on the presents. Initially, I just started with 6 and 4, and then I decided that I needed a little bit more depth for the shadows, so that's why I brought in 09. So the presents are going to be RV and BG, and then G and R. So red and green, and then pink and blue. So for this, I'm using BG 49 and BG 15. And I'm just doing the opposite. So the pink present has the blue bow, and the blue present has the pink bow. And I'll do the same, like I mentioned, for the red and green present. So I'm using G09 and G06. I honestly, if I had thought about it, I would have put the solid green present at the front and put the red at the back, but I didn't realize it until after I'd colored, and I was not starting this all the way over just for presents. So I went ahead and used the red on the bow, and I feel like it went ahead and fixed that for me. And then I realized I missed a little bit of the tree, so I brought in that lightest color again. And again, I'm using 46 and 35 because I didn't want it so deep, but I wanted a little bit of contrast for sure. So after coloring, I'm going to bring in a Nuvo shimmer pen because it's not a card that I create if it doesn't have shimmer, especially at Christmas time. And then once I've added shimmer, I'm going to go ahead and bring in some clear Nuvo drops, and I'm going to add this to all of the ornaments. And once I've done that, I set it aside to dry, and then I'm going to come back and we'll create the card base. So I have cut down a card base to 4 1/4 by 11. Scored at 5.5, and then I have a layer that's 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. This image is on 4 by 5 1/4, and then the plaid paper I cut to 3/4 of an inch, and the heart paper I cut to 3/8 of an inch. So I love that paper from my stash because it has hearts on it, and I thought it just went wonderfully with this card. I'm adhering everything with liquid glue, and just like that, we have a card. This card is actually going to my husband for Christmas, and there you can see the dimension with the dots and all of the sparkle and shine. So thank you once again for joining me here on the ScrapbookPal.com YouTube channel. You will find all the supplies listed in the description box down below, and I hope you have a fantastic week. Bye for now.